So you finally made it to New York City. Like most people, you probably want to see the Statue of Liberty. Well, you can easily see Lady Liberty from Battery Park, or the shores of New Jersey, or Brooklyn Bridge Park. But what if you're not content? What if you absolutely have to be on that island, so close that you can see right under her nose? Then worry not, this video has got you covered, because we are going to talk about which ferry to take, its routes, types of tickets you can buy, and other things you might want to know when visiting Liberty Island and Ellis Island. Welcome to Urban Caffeine. Make sure you hit that like button. The Statue of Liberty, also known as the Statue of Liberty National Monument, stands on Liberty Island. A bit north of it is another island called Ellis Island. Ellis Island will have the Immigration Museum, and Liberty Island will have the statue plus a smaller museum dedicated to the statue. And there is only one ferry company that will dock at both these islands. And that is the Statue City Cruises. If other ferry cruises say they'll take you to see the Statue of Liberty, this means that they will cruise near the statue close enough for you to get a good view, but they will not actually dock on the island itself. So again, if you want to set foot on the island and walk around, you have to purchase your ticket through Statue City Cruises, but more on tickets later. The ferries of Statue City Cruises will depart at two places: Battery Park in Manhattan, right here, and at Liberty State Park in New Jersey, right around here. The ferry coming from Manhattan will stop at Liberty Island first, then Ellis Island, then back to Manhattan. The ferry coming from New Jersey will stop at Ellis Island first, then Liberty Island, then back to New Jersey. Again from New York, and from New Jersey. Ferries come and go on these islands about every half hour. So once you're on either, you can take your time and simply catch the next ferry that's available when you're done. Just take note of which ferry you're boarding. For example, if you are on Liberty Island, if you came from New York, make sure you get on the ferry headed to Ellis Island and not the one headed to New Jersey. And if you are on Ellis Island and you came from New Jersey, make sure you get on the ferry headed to Liberty Island and not the one headed to New York. Here are 4 types of tickets. Unfortunately, the Crown Reserve is unavailable until further notice. So as of recording, you can only buy any of these 3. All 3 tickets include the ferry ride and admission plus audio guide to the Immigration Museum and Statue of Liberty Museum, available in these languages. On Liberty Island, pedestal reserve tickets let you go up to here. Otherwise, general admission tickets only take you as far as here. Crown Reserve tickets would have allowed you access to the inside of the head of the statue, but like I said, it's currently unavailable. And the Hard Hat Tour will include an hour-long guided tour to the south portion of Ellis Island. Otherwise, a general admission ticket will only get you into the Immigration Museum. And here are the ticket prices. All prices are before tax and fees. As mentioned, Liberty Island has the Statue of Liberty. When you get off the ferry here, you can pick up your free audio guide around this area, in between a gift shop and bookstore. As you can see, there's plenty of opportunities to partake in the American practice of consumerism. When it comes to food, here's the deal with food. The only food vendor available during your entire trip is this cafe at Liberty Island. There will be no food at Ellis Island. But feel free to bring your own lunch with you if you're a fussy eater or simply just don't want to buy food. Further down is a museum that showcases the building of the statue itself and some preserved artifacts. And from here, you can promenade around the Statue of Liberty. Ellis Island is slightly larger than Liberty Island. Your ferry boat will dock here, right in front of the main building. This was where immigrants were screened and processed before being admitted into the United States between the late 1800s up until the mid-1900s. And today, it's a museum. If you have a general admission ticket, you will have access to the museum. If you have the Ellis Island Hard Hat Access ticket, you will have an hour-long tour of the south portion of the island, which includes the Ellis Island Hospital. Between the boat ride, the statue, 2 museums, and if you want to look up a relative on the immigration database, you are potentially looking at a full day of things to do. Pay attention to what time the last ferry departs. It's usually around 5 p.m., so to get the most out of your trip, general advice is to start early. But to shorten your visit, you have the option to skip either or both museums or skip Ellis Island altogether. If you plan to skip Ellis Island, you can stay on the ferry to continue on, and it goes the same if you're coming from New Jersey. There isn't much shelter on Liberty Island, so if there's even a slight chance of rain, I recommend bringing an umbrella. If it's very sunny out, pack that sunblock. And if you're visiting during the winter, dress for the cold because Liberty Island will not only be freezing, but windy as well. There are water fountains to refill your water bottle, and as mentioned earlier, you can bring your own snack or pack lunch if you don't want to buy food during your trip. And this is advice for visiting New York in general. You will be walking a lot, so you can't go wrong with a good pair of comfortable shoes. And lastly, we are in the height of June. Thank you so much for those that watched our video on free things to do in the month of June. And thanks for all the comments as well. The Poster House is still a fun place to go to, and I hope you enjoy your free visit. It goes both ways. New York misses you too. Yes, I'll have to look into that library card. We all love free things after all. Thank you. It pays to eat a vegetable every now and then. And FYI, a stem of broccoli is now $2 at Trader Joe's. Even broccoli couldn't escape inflation.